Hello and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be talking about the 555 portal, which is occurring on May 5th, 2021. And as 2021 boils down to a 5, and it is a 5-year, we have this 5 repeating 3 times, which just amplifies the power of it and makes this an incredibly potent portal for us this year. This feels sort of on par with the 444 portal that we had last year as far as the energies that we're working with and just really leveling us up in terms of our ascension journey. And what that looks like is going to be different for everyone depending on where you are in that journey yourself. But I am going to share with you guys some channeled material. I just did a meditation and I asked Creator for some guidance as to what was going on, some of the things that I was feeling, and got some clarity around that. So I'm going to share that with you guys, and keep in mind, this is my own personal interpretation. These are the messages that I received, and it is being filtered through my perspective. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Honestly, all of this is such an organic process that we don't even really need to know in order, like, we're still going to experience it regardless of whether we know what's going on, right? But it's fun to delve into these things and see what we can find. The 5 energy is, of course, all about changes. And so we're talking about the changes that are occurring in our inner reality, in our outer reality, within the genetic makeup of our bodies and our beings. And there's a lot going on with that during this portal. So there will be a reading where I pull some cards and we tap into the energies and get some additional messages after I read for you guys just sort of what I've gleaned and surmised through my meditation. So if you guys are eager to skip the channeled material and get right to the reading, I will put a link for that below, a timestamp. However, I definitely would encourage you to listen to the whole video if you're interested. If you clicked on this video and you want to hear about the 555 portal, I'm feeling like you want to hear all about it. And so, yeah, let's get into this right now. So with this portal, we're going to see an activation of codes already embedded in our systems that have been dormant. And so these codes, when activated, are going to assist in, as we were sort of talking about, this next phase of our ascension journeys. And as we said, that's going to be slightly different for everybody depending on where you are in that journey currently. They are going to trigger a cascade of changes to our DNA. So with this energy of changes, the DNA and the physical bodies, like the physical aspect of ascension, is very much feeling highlighted to me. So I got some more information about that. And so these physical changes, when they begin to occur, when these codes are activated and our DNA begins this process of transforming and evolving, that we're going to see sort of initiated during this 5-5 portal. Some of the symptoms, and remember, this isn't like we're going to experience all of this on the day of the portal. This means the portal is the opening for all of those energies to come in, and we're going to continue to experience them. It's going to continue to unfold. And so we don't want to go into this expecting that all of this is going to happen right when it becomes May 5th or throughout that day. This is a process. Everything is a process, and it happens at the speed at which we are able to process it. All right. So, yeah, but it's some of the things that we may experience as a result of these DNA activations are a return of some of the flu-like symptoms that we experienced at the beginning of our ascension process. Those are a lot of fun. We know what those are. Some of the ones that were brought up to me were like the hot and cold sweats or hot and cold flashes, shivers or tremors, body aches, all of those different kinds of things going on. We know that there's more of them. We may experience sort of an onset of those initially. Let's see. We may experience what feel like surges of electricity moving through our bodies, or like tingling sensations or other types of sensations. And so I've already felt that a little bit. It's been an interesting thing, the electricity surges. I feel it mostly in my hands and sometimes in my feet. Sometimes I feel like a burning sensation. So that may be another thing. Any of those bodily sensations we may begin to feel. Let's see. What else do I have here? We may experience like a lightness, like our body's feeling lighter than they typically do. We may also feel a heaviness, and this may occur especially in specific body parts. And if that's happening, that's what I was shown was that that's an area where there's more density that's wanting to be released. And so we can release that through breath work. We can release that through energy healing, energy work. There's lots of different ways for some people. Physical movement may be a way to release that energy. And so just working on playing with what feels like it works for you, how you're being guided. That's the most important thing here, is like I can throw out some suggestions that I received, but it's really all about you and tapping into your own intuition and how you feel guided. Really ask your body what it needs, what is going to be helpful, and it will tell you. Ask your guides, ask your team, but really, really ask your body. A lot of this stuff is about the physical body. We are ascending in physical form for what many say is the first time, right? Typically when we ascend, we leave the body behind. And so there's a lot that's shifting and changing with the body. And like I said, it's going to be a process. And so, yeah, and it could, like, these symptoms are just some of the examples that I was given. There could be a whole different array of things that you experience as well. So just check in with your body when you're experiencing it. Of course, we always say the disclaimer of, like, if something feels seriously wrong, go to a doctor and have it checked out. Don't just follow the advice of somebody on YouTube. We're all aware of this, but it always has to be reiterated. But also, in addition to that, like, check in with your body, ask it what's going on, check in with your team, you know, ask what is happening right now. What can I do to assist this? What is this? What are you trying to tell me? And just see how your body will often respond, or you will get an intuition or an insight as to just what feels right for you. Let's see. But yeah, the energy work, the breath work, the physical movement and activity were some of the things that were given as examples of how to release some of this energy. We may also notice just like little physical shifts in the makeup of our bodies, just the way we're built, something about the way we look or the way our bodies feel to us. It's almost like they're going to feel a little bit different. Like we're going to feel a little different in them, or they're just going to feel a little bit strange. I know that's really random and obscure, but some of this stuff, we don't really have the terminology and the framework to discuss it because it's outside the realm of what we've experienced before. So it's a little bit difficult to put into words. One thing that I thought was really interesting also, and I'm skipping around here, is that we may find our senses, our sensory system is working differently. And so that means like the way we experience taste, touch, smell, sight. We may see light differently. We may just see everything may just have a different, like colors might look more vivid. Things may look a little bit more, what's the word when they're not corporeal, when they're not as solid? There may just be all kinds of different ways that we begin, like subtle shifts and changes in the way that our sensory system works. And I was told that that's because we're learning how to perceive with our entire being. As like, how would I explain this? It's sort of like how we see with our eyes, but we're learning to see with our whole being. Or we feel with our hands or our skin, but we're learning to feel with our whole being. And so it's a different sort of experience as we're transitioning into that, which I thought was really, really interesting. Our nervous systems are going to be extremely active during this, all of our body systems really. We want to take care to nurture those if we feel one falling out of balance. That's why it's so important to really know what our bodies feel like, how our bodies work, so that we can notice when something is off, and then we can address that. So there may be, I'm feeling now, different systems of the body that different people are going to need to and want to address. Some people may need to address the endocrine system, the adrenals, right? Different things like that. But the nervous system especially is going to be affected. And so we really want to be taking care to reduce stress, to not be putting anything in our bodies that's going to kind of hype it up, right? Because our bodies are already a little bit hyped up in some ways. So anxiety and things like that, we may feel increases in that as well. And so we just want to like be self-soothing. EFT tapping is a great way to self-soothe. Drinking a nice cup of tea is one of my favorite ways to self-soothe. I love peppermint tea for that. just like taking naps. We are going to be experiencing that fatigue sometimes. And so we want to take naps. We want to give our bodies rest. We want to supply them with all the minerals and all the vitamins that they need. And so that means lots of fruit and vegetables. And we'll get more into the food stuff a little bit later. But yeah, so it's just going to be a different perception of things. But that sense of anxiety and irritation may be present for some. So we just want to do everything we can to assist our bodies through that and assist our mental space as well. Let's see. Yeah, we're being guided to work with the elements to stabilize our transition, and also our meridian system, which is shifting and transforming as well. And so this was really interesting. It was just like I was being shown the elements and also sound, which is funny because the sound healing came up in a reading the other day. So really utilizing sound and frequency, right? Because as we are becoming more of an energetic body, right? As we are becoming lighter, we are also, of course, become like our frequency is rising. It's all about our frequency, where we are very much beings of frequency. So utilizing and playing with different frequencies, different healing frequencies, and sort of like which ones you'll notice how you feel when you listen to a certain one. So which one is feeling the best to you and feels as though it's supporting you the most. The 528 hertz, of course, is great. There's other ones that support the DNA, that support the physical body, that support healing. So there's just a whole lot of different ways that you can experiment with the different frequencies and what feels like it's the most nourishing to you. And it may change at different times. And so as far as working with the elements go, it's like we're being told to just pay attention to what it feels like our body is desiring. Like, are we noticing that our breath is really short or really shallow or fast, right? And do we need to be taking in more breath in order to be working with that air element? Are we craving lots of spicy foods? That could be a sign that our fire element is requiring or wanting a little additional assistance. If we are feeling thirstier than usual, we may be guided to work with the water element. And of course, we can work with these in different ways that we breathe, different ways that, drinking and eating and all of these different things, what we're bringing into our bodies, right? Because even breath is bringing in that life force energy. We're bringing something in, but it's also by working with the elements themselves, right? So water, go take a bath, go out and play with a waterfall, right? These different things, different ways, go for a swim. Earth element, we may be hungrier than usual. We may be drawn to really grounding foods. So that would be like root vegetables and stuff like that. For some of us, even meat we may be drawn to. We may just crave more time out in nature. And so go and spend that time. Mother Earth, Gaia, is ascending with us, right? We are part of her, and she has all of these healing codes, right? And so utilizing her, like, she wants to assist us, she wants to support us. So go out, especially if you can walk barefoot and really have your feet touching the earth. That's going to be really helpful. Feet, hands, just really like get out and roll around in the dirt. That is going to be so helpful for us. And that's also great for our inner child, right? Going out on hikes, just being in the elements, being in nature and allowing her to soothe you and assist you is going to be extremely helpful. All right. And so another interesting thing that came through was the activation of the code keepers. And that's what Creator called them when I was asking about it, is the code keepers. And this is interesting because some of the stuff I'm going to talk about here, I've heard other people talking about a little bit here and there. I've caught little snippets of stuff. And so it's really interesting that was sort of brought in. I don't know if that terminology was used, the code keepers, but that's what I was given as a term. And so this is sort of the idea that there are many beings on the planet right now. Probably a lot of you watching this would, my gut would be that these would be the star seeds and the light workers, the empaths, the sensitives, whatever you want to call us, right? That were encoded with segments of a greater code. And so we're each holding within us a segment of this code. And these codes are being activated within us and within Gaia herself during and around this 555 portal. And so all of those segments of code are coming online and meant to join together into into like a larger activation code or a larger code for, I don't know what, we'll just call it for ascension. So we're going to be able to share this code between each other, right? Share the different pieces of the code that we hold. Ultimately, the code itself will unite and form that one, that greater code that we have all of these different pieces of, right? And that's going to be really influential in helping Gaia and uniting and sort of merging with her code, right? To unite us and bring us into this, move us into this next level of our ascension. And so we can share different aspects of this code with each other. And what that's going to do for us is it's going to further activate our gifts and our abilities. And so we can, it's sort of like a sharing of gifts and abilities as we share these different pieces of code that we all contain, which is really, it's really fun and interesting. It's like, as we are all activated, it really, that process alone really helps to unify this code, because we create a grid of coding that is uplifting the planet. And I saw this beautiful image. It was like all of us sitting with these open heart centers, all connecting, and just this beautiful like sacred geometry almost that it was creating. It looked almost like a flower of life or something like that. It was really, really beautiful. And so the idea of this is that we can connect with each other, we can share these codes, we can bring this code together and really feel and experience that simply through sitting in meditation and setting that intention to connect with each other, to share this code, to experience this code, and just what it has to offer us. And so just sitting with that open heart space in meditation. And love is, the way that I saw this was like this code is activated, but the more strongly it comes online really depends on us and our vibration and our frequency. I was shown, it's sort of like, the analogy was kind of like gas in a car or something like that. Like love is that gas, love is that fuel, love and service. And so as we step deeper into the vibration of love, we activate it more and more strongly, and more of these gifts and abilities are able to come online. And as we work toward that goal of service to humanity, that code becomes stronger, our gifts and our abilities become stronger, and we continue to evolve. It's like, that's the key. The love and the service is the key. Yeah. I just saw like a golden key in my mind. That was pretty cool. And so these codes, this grid is helping to assist the earth in her ascension. And it's also, as it's being activated in us, it's making these codes available for humanity as a collective as well. And that will be accessed when people are ready to access that code and to access these activations. Not everybody is going to be at the stage where they're ready to begin any of the stuff that I'm talking about here. But for those of us who are, and that creates the template that then allows others to, as well as they are ready. So it's really beautiful the way that it works. So it's just really about the love and the service, and really tapping into that. With this 555 portal, with these energies, right? These energies of changes, we're going to be experiencing shifts in both our inner and our outer realities that are necessary in order to align our souls with their highest path, with their mission, with their blueprint and their purpose. And so we're going to notice those who are really firmly sort of entrenched in their soul mission and their purpose already are going to see more doors opening for them, more opportunities, more inspiration coming through. Almost like spirit is just taking us and guiding us by the hand, and everything that we need in order to fulfill our mission, our purpose is going to be offered to us. We are going to be able to receive so that we can continue this work, which is really beautiful. And those who are possibly out of alignment with sort of their soul's mission and purpose are going to be sort of like, it's like a GPS kind of rerouting them to where they need to be on their path in order to align with their spiritual destiny, for lack of a better term. And so that's a really important thing to note, is we're being asked to surrender. We're being asked to let go, to go with the flow, to welcome in these changes, even if they are unknown, even if they seem scary, even if we can't quite understand how everything's going to link up together, even if some of these changes and some of these things, the ways that we're being rerouted are a little bit jarring and take us really far outside our comfort zone. We're just being asked to trust any major changes that happen during this time period are divinely inspired in order to bring us into alignment with our soul path and our soul mission, because it's really about stepping into that mission now. Everyone, like anyone who's still watching this video, you have a mission, and you have many missions and many purposes, right? One of those, of course, we always talk about is joy, is bliss. That is one of your ultimate missions and purposes here. And of course, there's the soul growth and the evolution. There's all of the generational and the lineage and the ancestral healing that we're doing. But there is also the uplifting of humanity, this ascension process. Anybody who's interested in my channel, I can pretty much guarantee you, came here to assist in that process. And so it's really about us getting in touch with that. And it's okay if we don't know exactly what that looks like now. Just go with the flow of where you're being taken, of what you're being shown, of how you're being guided. And if you're not receiving that guidance, ask for it. Sit down in meditation and ask for it. Ask for signs, ask for guideposts, ask to be led, right? Ask to experience those synchronicities. Really start communicating with your guides, with your spiritual team, to find out, to allow yourself to be led. And right now in these energies, just embrace these changes. Don't try to fight against the tide. Embrace these changes and where they are taking you and what they are showing you. And just know and trust. It's about that trust, that surrender, that faith. A lot of this is making me think of the daily video that I just did, talking about the trust, the surrender, and the fate. It's all happening to bring us more deeply into alignment. All right, so I'm wanting to pull a couple Work Your Light cards to start here. Clear. What additional guidance do we have from Spirit, from Source, from our guides, our angels, all of these beautiful benevolent beings that are absolutely assisting us in this process? And I feel like I'm talking a little more softly than I usually do, so hopefully everybody can hear me. Hopefully the mic's picking me up. It's pretty good. All right, first card out, transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Exactly what we talked about, right? This is the DNA activations and upgrades. These are the codes coming online. This is all of that. Deep, deep transformation and healing that is happening as a result. Perfect first card. And I love the Egyptian feel of this card with the cat too. Cats also, when we're talking about sound healing, the purr of a cat is a healing frequency. And so spend more time with your cat. That's a great way to really assist your body and your spirit in these transformations. And then we have you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. And so that's a message for, like we were saying, the people who are worried of like, I don't know what my soul purpose is. I don't know what I'm here to do. I don't know what my mission is. Don't worry so much about that. Just keep doing what you're doing. That is leading you there. You are fulfilling your mission right now by continuing to heal yourself, by continuing to follow your intuition, by going where you are led, by doing this healing work. Right? You are already doing it. So just keep doing it. Keep being true to yourself. Keep allowing yourself to be guided, right? Your true north makes me think of a compass, right? Allow that compass to guide you. And don't worry if you don't know. None of us have the full picture of what we're doing. Some of us have figured out a little bit more of it than others, but no, none of us really know. We're just going with the flow. We're going with what we're told to do. We're going with what resonates, what feels right, what we intuit to be the direction. And there's a lot of healing and a lot of personal growth that's involved in this journey too. That is like, without that, nothing else can occur, right? So that, like, you're already doing it. So trust your path. That's the other card that came out with that. Trust your path. Yeah, you're already doing it. So trust where you're going. Trust where you're headed. Trust where you're being guided. And don't allow that fear of failure or success, right, to keep you from accomplishing what it is that you came here to do. It's, if you knew that you would be supported, what would you do? What would you do? And my version of this is that I actually keep a quote of that in my room. I've had it there for years. What would you do if you believed you could not fail? Right? Different variation on the same exact thing, just a different wording, has a slightly different feel to it. Right? If you knew you could not fail, what would you do? Trust that. Go with that. if you are allowing yourself to be held back by fear, these are the energies coming through that we talked about that said you will be 100% supported. Doors will open for you. The path will become more clear as you begin walking it. So just begin walking that path, or just keep walking that path. Because most of you, like I said, you're already on it. Just keep walking it and don't allow those fears and those doubts to hold you back. And if you guys want assistance with this, please reach out to me. We can do some belief work around this stuff. Also, I meant to mention the Belvaspata that I do was downloaded as a gift for humanity to aid in the ascension process. So as we are delving into this next level of our transition, right, our transformation, that can be really helpful in helping support your body as well as your mind and your spirit in integrating these energies in this transformation that is occurring. And so please reach out to me. My email's in the description box below if you want any assistance with any of these things. Yeah, trust the niggle. This is all about your intuition. What is your intuition telling you? What is that little feeling in your stomach, right? That little voice, that soft voice in the back of your mind. What is it telling you? Trust that, and then your guidance is divinely guided. So how many times can they say, trust yourself, trust yourself, trust yourself? This is reminding me of that message that came through from Source a little while ago that was talking about, you know, when Source was saying that we are all manifestations of its one energy. And so if we don't believe in ourselves, that means that we don't believe in Source. And so if we do believe in Source, if you do have faith, if you do have trust in that all-knowing, all-loving, all-encompassing consciousness, whatever you want to call it, if you do have faith in that and you do believe in that, then you have to believe in yourself because you are an aspect of that. So it's really reminding me of that right now. And it's just like you are being guided. You're being guided, so it's about trusting that guidance that's coming through. I feel like people are receiving that guidance, but what we're doing is brushing it off because you're overthinking it. You're brushing off the guidance. Even though it keeps coming up, it's like that funny feeling that keeps coming up, that thought that keeps coming up, that intuition, right? That pull towards something, and you keep saying, that doesn't make sense. You overthink it, you analyze it, and you analyze yourself right out of action. And so it's like, trust that what is coming through for you is so real and so genuine. All right, and I'm wanting to go to the Starseed Oracle, but let's see. And then we have no, wait, postpone, pause, say no. And so that's all about setting boundaries. That's all about taking that time out that you need. They're saying it's okay. Like if you're not sure about something, it's okay to wait. It's okay to postpone something. But like we said, don't do that out of fear. But this is also about protecting our energy. It's also about protecting our energy. Yeah. Yeah, for some of you, I feel like there's something that you want to do, but there's something that needs to be done first. And so whatever that thing is that needs to be done first, do that thing first, which is interesting. All right. Let's go to the Lightworker Oracle. Clear. I also feel for some of you guys, it's like you have options in front of you, and one of the options is not necessarily in full alignment or resonance with what you want and what you feel like you came here to do, what you desire, what lights you up. However, it makes more practical sense. And the other option doesn't make practical sense, but you're strongly intuitively guided towards it. Like your whole being is pulling you towards it, but it's the overthinking coming in again. And so this is about choosing the path that really makes your soul sing and knowing that you're going to be supported on that path. And just trusting and having faith in that path. All right, what guidance do we have? Whoa, okay. All right, yes. So, yep. Oh, if we needed more confirmation, we have Alchemical Mutation coming out. All right. And then we have Divine Grace, the Law of Efficiency. And so this is all about being efficient with our energy, right? And that's where this energy comes in again too, right? It's like, how can we be the most efficient with our energy? Sometimes we have to postpone things. Sometimes we have to say no to things because we can't have our energy pulled in a million different directions. And so we're really being cognizant of where we are putting our energy right now and how that is serving us or not serving us. So we're being asked to pay attention to that, and we're being asked to work efficiently. I feel like there are some people that feel like, okay, I know what I'm meant to do. I know what I'm being asked to do, and I can 100% relate to this. But I feel like it's too many things. I feel like it's too much. I don't have enough time. Cancel, clear, delete, right? But this is like the thought pattern. It cannot all be done. It's like that kind of thinking of like, I don't know where you expect me to find the time to do all of these things and then take care of myself too. And you want me to go for walks in nature. You want me to do all this stuff. Like, how? And so it's just like trying to do a bunch of different things, but not being efficient about the way we're doing it. And Spirit says there's a way to get it done. You just have to learn how to be efficient with your time. And you have to learn what is sucking the time and the energy out of you. And is it necessary or is it not? And if it's not, you need to learn how to say no, how to let it go. And so the divine grace, law of efficiency says, it is time your life became easier. It is time for you to walk the way of divine grace with trust, simplicity, and acceptance. You do not have to try to make things happen. You can gracefully act without attachment and trust that all will be as it is meant to be. Surrender your struggles now as you allow life to serve you with love and kindness. This is the most efficient use of your energy and will lead to the best results, right? So talking about efficient uses of our energy. And so this isn't trying to make things happen, right? It's not all of that energy that we're expending. We'll read a little more about it here. The law of efficiency encourages us to work smarter rather than always working harder. It is like allowing a wave to carry you to shore rather than swimming the entire way with your own efforts alone, or even against the current, which would make the journey even harder. It is like planting a seed at the right time so nature will help it bloom in the spring, and that's where this postpone energy comes in, right? Rather than planting it during the dead of winter when it takes a lot of effort to keep it alive, and even then it may not survive. This is the intelligence of the law of efficiency and divine grace at work. And this is about divine timing too. This is about really learning how to tune into your divine timing. And your intuition will tell you how to do that. So really synchronizing with our own sense of divine timing. To hitch your wagon to the universe in this way, you need to learn to listen. Tuning in, right? Listening. This means tuning into what feels right or wrong at any given time. Sometimes we will want to push forward, yet our intuitive knowing will guide you to rest. Sometimes we will want to hide from a challenge, yet you know in your bones it is time to step up and shine with boldness, despite the fear you may feel. The universe has a sense of natural flow cycles and timing that assures us it supports every dream we dare to dream, and that everyone can come to fruition in due course. It may not look exactly as you expect, but if you have set it in motion with desire and intention, karmic law will ensure that it finds expression. For this to happen in the most loving, graceful, and easy way, you must learn to hear, feel, and sense the currents of life and work with them, rather than push against them. This is about common sense, allowing yourself to be helped, not making things more difficult for yourself than they need to be. Not this energy of me, I have to do everything alone, I have to do it this way, I have to do A, B, and C. It's surrendering some of that process and allowing the help from the physical people in your life, from your physical earth team, as well as from your spiritual team. That's why we talked about communicating with your guides, getting in touch with your guides, asking for their guidance and assistance. And it was 33 minutes and 44 seconds when I started talking about that, tuning into your guides, which is interesting. Let's see. Imagine that you have a chance to share a feeling of love in a room full of receptive people. The time is right. They are open and your efforts create the maximum effect for love's success. Or you could expend the same amount of time and energy by arguing with one disinterested person in an attempt to get them to understand and receive your love, even though they actually have no interest in doing so. They just wish to have their own point of view and for you to agree with that. One is working with the law of efficiency and the other is working against the tide of life. So this is what we talked about. What energies are draining you? What energies are supporting you? How are you draining your own energy? And how can you reverse that process? It's not bad to choose the harder way sometimes. It can be a great learning experience. But you're being encouraged with this oracle to explore the easier and more graceful way more often. Especially at this time in your life, because there is a helping hand, a natural wave of energy in life, which is this 555 portal, that is going to be able to support your rising spirit in manifesting something truly beautiful and special in the world. How perfect is this? The law of efficiency is also sometimes known as the path of least resistance. We must find the strength that comes from letting go and trusting that the universe knows what it is doing. It takes spiritual maturity to cede to wisdom greater than your own immediate understanding. Then you are surfing the wave rather than swimming against the current. How efficient to work with life in its cycles, rather than believing you must struggle and strain to be heard, loved, rewarded, and inspired. You have that maturity within you now. Trust that. Trust now. Trust that all will come in time, and I would say in perfect divine time, right? And then alchemical mutation, which is talking about and just confirming everything that we talked about with with transformation and alchemical mutation. Cards that came out first when we started pulling from these decks. So that process is very well underway, and so it's just navigating that, right? I don't want to jinx us, but I mean, some of us may feel like another wave of that initial experience of the ascension. So we want to make sure that we're balanced. We want to make sure that we employ everything that we've learned in how to take care of ourselves, how to recognize and navigate and release what's coming up that wants to be released, how to surrender, how to let go, how to ride the waves of the changes that are being brought in, right? Everything that changes internally, is mirrored by external changes. And so we just want to allow all of that process to occur and really learn how to be efficient with our energy. And then we have the fourth ray of harmony coming out. And that's beautiful. Look at that doorway in the center of his being, right? And look at how he's just radiating all of this energy, and he's so connected, right? That interconnectivity. And so let me look at this real quick. I don't want to just talk your ear off reading from the book here, but sometimes these are really good to read. It says the fourth ray of harmony comes to you now with the qualities of beauty, harmony, and balance. It empowers you to complete a spiritual initiation. Any conflict you experience now serves your divine purpose. It will eventually become the fuel you need to be born anew. Something negative will be transformed into something positive. The Archangel Gabriel helps you to receive the blessing of the fourth ray of harmony now. And so this is bringing more harmony into your life, right? And so this is also about those situations of apparent disharmony, apparent upheaval and chaos as these changes are occurring, which are divinely guided for your soul growth and development. Yeah. And then we have talking about music here, which I love because we were talking about the healing power of sound. Let's see. Yeah, so I like this because we are experiencing a deeper level of sensitivity. So I am going to read this one part to you. It says, the mainstream is still operating in a fear-based energy. With increased sensitivity, you can at times be more affected by this. If you are experiencing increased negativity, depression, doubt, fear, or emotional instability, this is likely why. Remember, those who are in different phases of their ascension and awakening process are going to be experiencing these energies possibly very differently. And so we could see a lot of that fear and a lot of that emotion being kicked up in the collective. And so we don't want to take that on. We're here to support them through the cultivation of our own light, but we don't have to take on their energies in order to do it. So if you are experiencing that, you can overcome this without shutting down. When you sense it happening, respond with a loving discipline. You might meditate, journal, dance, create art, listen to music, exercise, have a bath, or spend time in nature to bring yourself back to balance. This ray has a special connection to the arts and guides you to create. You are encouraged to trust your own creativity, to enjoy it, and use it to help yourself heal, and perhaps others too. And then it talks about music and sound going on for healing and balance. Yeah, which we covered as well. So that's really perfect too. All right, let me see. Is there anything else that I want to pull here for us? Yeah, I want to pull a couple Secret Language of Light cards. Clear. What guidance do we have? Any closing guidance for this beautiful 555 portal energy? Yeah. And for those of you who skipped the channeled material and went right to the reading, if you were confused when we're talking about the alchemical mutation and the transformation and the DNA and all of that, the next wave of the ascension, all of those energies, go back to the beginning of the reading and watch that, and you'll have a better understanding of what it is that we're talking about with all of that. All right. So we have alignment number 14. Beautiful. All right. What other guidance or energies do we have? Soul love wanting to pop out there, but not fully. Soul family now coming out. Coming into alignment with our soul family, right? And we talk about this, and then soul craft wanting to pop out, but all right. Okay, yeah, that one wants to come out. And we talked about this when we're connecting with the other keepers of the code, right? And so, but yeah, reuniting, becoming into alignment with our soul family. So that's one of these energies. As we are experiencing these changes and these shifts in our outer reality, they're also bringing us closer to our soul family, bringing us into alignment with our soul family. If we haven't met all of them yet, right, these companions of destiny, as we call them in another reading, which I really love, they are coming in. So you want to be in alignment. You want to pay attention to what members of your soul family that you do have in your reality now are you in alignment with. And some of us may notice that we're falling out of alignment with some, and that may be a painful process. If there are some who are just are still struggling with the adaptation, with the surrendering, with going with the flow, and are caught still working through cycles of density, that may be painful if we notice ourselves coming out of alignment with some, but it's bringing us deeper into alignment with others. And so we never slow our process, we never slow our growth, we never dim our light in order to, for any reason, not even to allow another to catch up. They will continue with their journey at the pace that is comfortable for them, at what's appropriate for them, but we don't adjust our pace to match theirs, right? We want to keep moving deeper and deeper into our own sense of alignment, into alignment with our divine timing, into alignment with our soul path and our purpose, and know that the soul family that is meant to accompany us on that leg of the journey will be drawn in. And the soul craft, I love this card. I'm actually going to read this with the soul tree on the bottom of the deck. So much soul, right? All the soul coming out for us. What was the other one? Soul love, that was kind of trying to jump out there. And so soul craft. What card is this? Number 10. The thoughts, ideas, and topics you incessantly discuss are crafting your life, so focus on the ones that make your heart smile. You are ready to receive answers from your soul about any topics, thoughts, or ideas you want to change. Be wise in your crafting, and the path of least resistance will call you. A lot of that energy about the path of least resistance, you guys. Different soul vibrations will inspire different actions. If you are feeling tired, your inspired action will be to rest or sleep. If you are feeling love, you will be inspired to do things that emulate love in your day. We all sense with our soul, but often override it with the rational mind. Trust your soul is bringing you the most up-to-date information. So this is really about coming into alignment, right, with our soul, right? Listening to the messages of our soul. We got so much information that people are receiving so many messages. So just to really tap into those, tune into those, put into practice the what you are receiving, right? The accompanying actions, the accompanying perspectives, whatever it is that you're being guided to do, really trust that guidance and learn how to live in alignment with our souls, and all of the different aspects of our souls, right? So paying attention to our every aspect, right? The body, which is the house of our soul. What is that telling us to do? What is our energy telling us to do? What is our heart telling us to do? And really allowing that to be our guidepost as we move. And that's how we move down the path of least resistance. And this is also reminding us how powerful, right? We come back to this over and over again, how powerful our words, our thoughts, and our actions are. And especially those words and thoughts. So what are you crafting? What are you creating with your words and your thoughts? Because you are the map maker of your own destiny. right? You are able to design the life that you want to live. Ask your soul popping out. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. And then we have authentic truth. And then inner voice on the bottom of the deck. So they're all about, and channeling under that. Channeling and color, where we're not talking about the colors becoming more vivid, right? And just working, maybe we didn't get into working with color, but working with color is really good too. So that may be helpful for people. But I just love this. The inner voice, the channeling, the ask your soul. All right, authentic truth. What is your authentic truth? I don't know. Ask your soul if you're not sure. Like, they want you to get into contact with your soul. They're like, it's great, you know, like listening to other people and their channeled experiences. The information that they're bringing in is great. Getting guidance is great. Of course, I love that you guys are here with me watching these videos. I appreciate you so much. But like Spirit is saying over and over again, when it comes to what you truly believe, what you resonate with, ask your own soul. When you need an answer to a question, you can ask outside resources and get different perspectives, right? But at the end of the day, your soul is wanting you to communicate with it. It has all the information that you need. Ask your soul, ask the creator, you know what I mean? Like, we are all capable of doing this, and we're beginning to realize that more and more. And so this is about discovering our truth. The truth will set you free so long as you recognize there is more than one truth and that the answers you seek exist beyond the beliefs you hold now. There are many truths in this world. You don't have to believe them all. Just focus on what resonates with you, right? If you must convince yourself of your beliefs, they are not your truth. Ooh, I like that. Your truth will always fulfill and satisfy, right? So if you have to convince yourself of it, that's the mind, right? That's the overthinking energy that we were talking about. Your truth will always fulfill and satisfy. It is unconditional, meaning conditions don't have to change for you to live and feel your truth. There is no right or wrong, but there is cause and effect, or action and reaction. Master yourself, not someone else's processes. When you change your beliefs, your life changes to match. To do this, you must be aware of how you feel and practice focusing on what makes your heart sing, not shrink. And we just had that same line, what makes your heart sing. When you align with the truth, with your truth, you will flow, feel excited, and believe an authentic life is possible. If it is not your truth, you will resist, find it hard to commit, and feel indecisive. And so if that energy is plaguing you, look deeper for your authentic truth. And if you don't know what that is, like we said, tap in, tune in, and ask your soul. Your soul holds all the answers and all the information that you seek. All right. I think I really could keep going on forever. You guys know that I could. But I think we are going to end it right there for this video. I love you. I appreciate you so much. This portal, this energy is so amazing. It's so exciting. So I don't know. I never know how these portals are going to hit me or what's going to be going on. So maybe maybe we'll end up doing a live or something like that. It won't be scheduled, just in case. Like I said, sometimes I get knocked totally off my feet. Sometimes I'm totally fine. But we have had some really fun times doing stuff like that together. So I'm thinking kicking that around as a possibility. But regardless, either way, whether I connect with you guys directly on that day or not, I love and honor you so completely. I see you. I honor your light. The light within you is the light that resides within me. Okay? And that light is just getting brighter and brighter and brighter. So let that light shine. Let your light shine. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. If this is your first time finding my channel and you would like to subscribe, hit the bell with the squigglies so you can get all the notifications. We do daily readings on the ascension energies. We talk about the galactic calendar and galactic time. We talk about the astrology and the energies that the planets are creating and how they're facilitating and guiding us through this ascension process. We do some random videos here and there. We do the zodiacs, all kinds of different stuff. So if you like the vibe, join the tribe. Welcome. And yeah, reach out to me. Like I said, my email's in the description box below. If you would like any assistance, please, 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 this is what I do, and I would love to do it with you. And what else? I don't know. If you like this video, hit that like button. Love you. Appreciate you. Have an incredible portal.